I get a feeling I'm the only person excited about this, and I don't care.
Is it some golf thing?
Is it just some golf thing? See how insensitive he is, folks. I have a hobby. I like golfing. I like watching golf. I like playing golf. I like
You ever
observing
watch
golf.
the show Veep?
Nope.
Okay, so first of all, watch it. It is the funniest, most biting comedy on earth. It's amazing.
Well,
People make
let me tell you where my primary viewing of TV comes from.
okay.
It has to be available on Delta Studio because that is where, over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be watching a lot of TV.
Delta Studio.
Delta Studio, in the back of an airplane.
Oh, like what are you talking about? Okay, maybe it is. Well, if it is, you should watch it. But there's a great golf joke early in, I don't know, season 2 probably, where the president has to interrupt TV to make an announcement, and his guideline is don't interrupt any sports. Well, unless it's golf.
It's hurtful. Anyways, so the Golf Club 2, this is what this is.
Yep.
The Golf Club 2, part of Games with Gold. It's coming for free, which means you don't have to pay for it, which is the least expensive golf thing I've probably ever done.
Technically have to pay for it. Like all things golf, nothing is ever free. You have to have an Xbox Live Gold subscription.
This is true. That is
Live Gold. I feel weird saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's just like the membership fees at a golf club. Golf club? Is that what we call those things? Like golf
resort, country club, whatever you want to call
country
it.
Club.
The Greenbrier.
It's weird that club is used twice in golf. We need to work on this.
Yeah, it kind of is actually.
Swearing
is used a lot too, but
yes, that's actually the one thing I fondly remember from golf. I was not very good at it.
Golf is perfect for a lot of preparation and really bad results. That's
yeah.
So yeah,
kind of like the end of Lost or the the end of The Sopranos, arguably.
Yeah, a lot of series don't end very well.
Yeah, that's true.
So things that haven't ended well apparently was Google's Quarter, by the way. I mean, it wasn't like it's not like they didn't Uber it. Like they're not.
Actually, let me throw something in there because I saw this story very late and I decided I should write about it. And I wrote about it very quickly. And the one thing that stuck out was how disappointed everyone was in their results. Actually, their results were great.
Yep.
And the 1 billion whatever shortfall from expectations was completely covered by the currency fluctuation thing. And they tried to drive that point home, and they were like, look, I mean, actually, this quarter, year over year, was fantastic, and it was. So unless you like their phones, I guess. But yes, their primary business is doing great. And we finally got a number, by the way, in the advertising thing. I was curious where that sat. What percentage of Google's revenues are derived from advertising? I believe it was 84.5%, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's an iPhone.
It is. It's more than an iPhone.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that too. I was thinking,
yeah. But it is going down. It used to be literally 97, 98%. So it's going down.
Yeah. The one funny thing I think I took away from all that was that they were surprised or a little amiss about their phones not selling so well. They're first-party phones, but I don't know why they were surprised by that. Did they not use them?
Did they not see how they were selling before?
Yeah.
Well, the shocker here is that they're well, maybe this shouldn't be a shocker, but sales of the Pixel line actually went down over the past year, meaning that the new, Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL have not sold as well as the Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL. There is a general malaise happening in the smartphone industry, and I'm sure that's part of it, but a big part of it is they raised prices dramatically 3 years ago, never recovered from that. The last 2 generations of products have been hugely unreliable. You can barely find these things at wireless carriers. I think Verizon might carry the Pixel if I'm not mistaken, but basically they're very hard to find. And why would you choose this thing, kind of an unproven, unknown kind of device, when there were iPhones and Samsungs in the world? So I
mean, if you were trying to buy a phone with the largest notch, I mean, Google has that offered for you.
That's right. And if you want the phone with the second best camera, they offer that too. So lots of good reasons to buy that phone, which is why I just bought one. Actually, I bought one. Remember, the one I bought one was $500. Yes, of course, because I can't be emasculated enough this week. No, I still think of it as sandalwood. But anyway, it's I don't even know what color.
Sandalwood.
I know.
Wow.
It's conch colored. No, anyway, it's it's worth $500, right? And
Sure.
that's the point. I mean, this phone is not worth $1,000. It just isn't. I mean, you could argue no phones are, but if you have $1,000 to spend on a phone, strongly recommend looking at what Apple and Samsung are selling.
Hmm.
That's all I'm saying. If you have to spend that money, there are companies now who get this. Huawei is one. OnePlus is an excellent example. In fact, I feel like their sales have been surging, and their quality's already always been high. They're a little quirky. There's always some weird features here and there, but those are solid devices too. So Samsung Pixel is. Although here's a little uncomfortable statistic.
Hmm.
Their hardware business is a $5 billion business, by the way, somehow. So it's actually bigger than Surface. I have a feeling a big chunk of that is two things. One is they sell these home devices, which I think are doing pretty well. And two, phones tend to sell in higher volume than PCs, right? So
Yep.
A small percentage of the PC market, I'm sorry, actually, a small percentage of the phone market is much better than a small percentage of the PC market, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah, I
From a
think
revenue
that's probably
perspective.
fair, especially these days. I think people are buying phones much more frequently than they are buying a new laptop or desktop.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Definitely. Absolutely. Every couple of years or every 3 years at the slowest. They're just not buying Google ones that
Yeah.
much. So, oh well.
Well, and two, they've got Nest wrapped into that. That's got to be
Yep.
that's
part
got
of
to
it.
make some
Yeah, it's
decent
hardware.
sales
It's
for
not
them.
just phones. Yeah, you're right. That's the point. I mean, they sell laptops and tablets that
Do they
nobody
sell
probably
laptops? I
buys.
mean, how many people?
I know. I know. I know.
You buying a Pixel
Technically
book?
speaking, they have them for sale if you want
Okay,
one.
that's fair.
If you were struggling to find a keyboard that had round keys on it, they got something for you. I don't know.
You should bring a Chromebook to
It's
build.
like a cat watching playing a piano. By the way, am seriously considering bringing a Chromebook to build. Yes.
I mean, I could probably get away with one if I didn't need to edit video.
Yeah, and I could absolutely get away with it. My wife, as a writer, could get away with it. I was just talking to her about this. I'm like, to be honest, you could make a case. For me, the problem is image editing because every single article that I put up requires at least one image, and it has to be the right aspect ratio, and there's editing involved. And right now, I'm very comfortable using a combination of Microsoft Paint and Adobe Photoshop. And I keep trying other things, both on the PC and on the web, and I just can't. It's not for lack of trying. I mean, I really, if I could find a web-based photo editor that retained settings and worked the way I wanted to, I mean, I'd be happy to try it. I would happy to use it, but I just so far haven't done it.
We'll get there. Well, I
I
mean,
think so.
isn't there a
And
version of
hopefully
Photoshop?
by that time there'll be an Edge book,
Yeah,
because that's what I'd really like to use.
yeah. I mean, they're working on them. I think Edge might be the actual holdup potentially.
Yeah.
Since
Yep.
Since
That's
they're-
weird because Edge has never really been a holdup. Sorry. Feels dust.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it pink dust?
Little glass flakes coming off the back of my pink phone.
It's probably just
die
the
of some
asbestos.
terrible disease.
Just the asbestos. Oh, this is actually, I haven't even seen. So you actually posted a photo. Oh yeah, it's pink. I mean, it's
It's not.
a
It's
nice
not-
shade of pink.
It's not my pretty pony pink.
It looks like my skin tone after I cut the grass. Just a
Oh
little.
boy. No, it's not that pink, Brad. It's it's I don't know. I don't know what to call it. It's not tan, but it's also not pink. It's kind of between the two. I
Fuchsia.
don't know who can see fuchsia. I think fuchsia's purple, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I'm
think
not
it
really
is more
a color
purple.
guru, but
It is actually the hard truth or whatever you want to. I don't even know what you want to call it. The thing I'm trying to avoid is so my wife uses an iPhone 7, and she's just casually making comments. She's like, this thing's starting to feel a little old. She's like, Mother's
Right.
Day's coming up, and I've got a birthday coming up, but I need Paul.
Wow.
I need to hold her off until the next one ships because
of course, because then you could hand yours down.
as is the tried and true method.
When's her birthday?
August.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty
well,
close.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
what
she
I
would
should.
want it between the two holidays.
What I
guess.
need to do is just repackage mine up so it looks brand new, hand it to her in August, and I'll just suffer through the iPhone 7 for 4 weeks until.
If your wife would be cool with that, I mean,
I don't
there are
know. I don't
worse.
know. Well, she's fine with the iPhone 7. I mean, I told her, I was like, do you want an iPhone X or XS, whatever the hell I was going to buy her, or do you want that newer Apple Watch? And she wanted a new watch, so
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I could see that. Your wife is very fitness focused,
very
and
much
that would
so.
be
And
kind of where her head's at or whatever.
yeah, and I did the real nice thing and didn't buy her the LTE version because I'm a dick. It makes so much more sense for her to have the LTE version. I don't know why I didn't do it.
Yep. I'm not. It's you do things the way you do things. It's okay.
Yeah, it's. I needed it for work or something.
What? Oh, I have to update my Fitbit. I was just told. I'm sure this will go well.
Yeah, if only you could defer it for up to 35 days.
No, the way this thing works, you kind of pretty much want to update it. It's just maybe this time it will actually. Actually, it's been syncing okay lately. I should say.
I don't know. I mean, the only other kind of interesting tidbit that's come out lately is that PlayStation 4 is nearly 100 million consoles, which pegs Microsoft, provided they were still doing the 2-to-1 ratio, maybe somewhere around 50 if they're lucky.
I bet they're not anywhere.
I bet
close
they're not
to
at
that.
50 either, but
this came up in my Pixel article today, but there are certain products that have just been on perpetual sale for the past 6 months or more.
mm-hmm.
And among them are the Pixels. Every Apple product not sold at the Apple Store.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Amazon, wherever, they're always on sale. And the Xbox, which is always on sale. Always, always, always. You'd have to be an insane person to buy an Xbox full price these days. So that tells me they're not selling very well. That and their last two quarterly results. And again, it's the natural cycle. It's where they are in the cycle. But Sony's experiencing the same thing. Sony's experienced 2 years now, I think, of year-over-year falling sales for the PlayStation as well. So, that's just where they're at. These things came out a long time ago. In fact, how long ago did they come? Was it 2000? Was it 2011? Was it?
I thought it was 12, but
Somewhere in there, 13 maybe. I don't
Xbox
remember.
One release date. Let's see here.
Could be 2013 actually.
Oh, it was 2013, November 22nd, 2013.
Yeah, so 6 years in. I mean, usually you look around 7, 8 years, I guess.
And it's not
But
like
the
people
difference
buy
this
more than
generation-
one either.
Well, they might. Because the consoles are getting upgraded. There have been 3 gens of the Xbox One. There will be a 4th at least, a true upgrade. The PlayStation has gone through revisions. I mean, they've only had the 2 major consoles, but they've had the cost reduced version. They've actually updated the PS4 Pro at one point, not technically, but probably for cost reduction. I don't know, but I'd say they both kind of do. But Sony just came out and said, "Yeah, we're going to come out with PlayStation 5, but it won't be till our next fiscal year, which begins next April. So, could be anywhere from April to December next year."
Which there's 2 reasons why they had to say that. One, not necessarily because they wanted to make people aware of it. Everybody kind of knew that. There's financial implications, right? They have to start expensing and incurring all that.
Yeah,
There's
R&D
going to be,
and
they're effectively saying, hey, look, our balance sheet's going to get a little wonky here because we got to incur a whole bunch of costs to get this thing out the door, which is probably the biggest reason why they said that on the sales thing. And 2, it also kind of just reaffirms expectations of what we already know.
Yeah, yep.
So,
well, peak PlayStation 4 was pretty good. I think they're going to end the year somewhere in the 110 to 115 million units, whatever however it works out. The last gen only sold 80 something million. I think the only PlayStation that's outsold this one so far is the PS2, and they're not going to beat that. I think
no,
it was
that
150 something. It was a big number.
Yep.
But yeah, it's they have won, so now they're just coasting for the finish line. Hopefully they won't be like that runner who was trying to get the crowd going and then the other guy passed him at the end. But I don't think anyone's close.
There's no way Microsoft's just going to come out and swoop up 70 million sales.
They could break their ankle and crawl all the way to the finish line and still win handily.
Yeah. Yep. You got anything else for today, Mr. Thurrott?
No, I mean, for people who are interested in the book, I've started updating it for 1903 because I hate myself, and why would I ever stop writing a book that no one reads? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about it. So hopefully I'll have at least one more chapter done before I leave for my magnum opus trip.
Yeah, you'll be going over a week for that, I bet, or just
Yeah,
about a week, right?
exactly a week. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thursday to Thursday. Is that technically 8 days? I don't know.
It is what it
I'm
is.
gonna have to do laundry. I like to
Wow.
carry on. I can't carry on 8 days worth of clothes.
Yeah, that's
You know. So I'm gonna try see if I can do laundry right before I go to Seattle, and if not, I'll
mhm.
do laundry at the hotel, I guess.
Yeah.
I've only very rarely done that.
I used to a long time ago, but yeah, it's been a while because I used to go
Yeah.
for before I started doing this. I used to go on work trips that could last up to 3 weeks
Oh boy.
before I had kids,
Sure.
and they would cover. You'd take a week's
Oh
worth
yeah,
of
sure.
clothes, and then they would just do it.
So they would you would just at a hotel, like you leave it in a bag or
Oh
whatever
yeah,
it
there's
is.
no way you can take 3 weeks of clothes. Basically, on the weekends, you
No, I
just
mean
have.
you're not. I meant you're not taking it outside to some place like a.
Oh no! It was just in the hotel. They usually had like linen bags, and you just dropped it all in there.
Yep.
Rang up room service. They come pick it up and return it in
Yeah.
24 hours or something like that.
Yeah, this is a hotel service with which I am not hugely familiar. Like I said, I've done it a couple of times,
Yep.
once or twice, but
Yep.
yeah, well, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So there we go. There we go. And one other thing, quick, folks. Week from today at what will be 7 p.m., I believe, local time at Pine Box at Build, you can come hang out with Paul, myself, Mary Jo, if you would like, and drink IPAs or good beer, and yeah,
Nice.
or do whatever it is you
Whiskey.
do.
I'm sure they have whiskey and scotch.
I do. I'm hoping they do have scotch because that's kind
I
of.
think they must. I feel like I've had scotch there.
I mean, I love beer, but I like scotch. Do scotch, just a little bit more. A
Yeah.
little bit more. So. I hit the wrong button, I'll be honest.